Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. I'm always in the craft room, but today we're going on a road trip and I thought you might like to come with me. We are off to a pop-up fabric shop. I have no idea what it's going to be like. I've never been to one before. Come with me and find out. The pop-up was hosted by Stitch Fabrics by M Rosenberg Son in Village Hall. Here is how the Village Hall looked when I arrived. Wow. Rolls and rolls of beautiful fabric. Sam, who was cutting on the day, was so knowledgeable about all of the fabrics. I didn't film loads at the event because I didn't want to be that person shoving my phone in people's faces, but you can see from the clip I just showed just how much fabric there was there. The layout was such that as you came in, they had mostly wool suitings. Then as you went along, they had loads of block print cottons, and then along one wall, they had all designer fabrics. Just absolutely stunning. And I was looking at some of them and Sam would nip over and go, oh, that's a Dior. He knew the provenance of all the fabrics. And I was like, this is beautiful, but what would you even use it for? They had one particular print that had the Statue of Liberty on it. And I was like, I love that, but I just can't see it in a garment. And he was like, hang on. And he showed me what Dior had used it for in their runway show. And he did that with quite a few of the fabrics. He really knows his stuff. There was fabric from Caroline Herrera, Balenciaga, Dior, Givenchy, just all the big names. And honestly, such beautiful quality and reasonable prices for what it was. So most of those designer fabrics were about £45 a metre, and not everything was fancy fabrics. They had some beautiful cottons. A lot of the cottons and the rayons were Italian, and you could see it on the selvage. The quality, honestly, was just stunning. But they also had rayons and polyesters with a lower price point. Everything I bought, and I am going to show it to you, was between £8 a metre, and I did get one £45 a metre silk. Let's just get on with it and show you what I bought. So, the first thing I chose was a gorgeous cotton, and this is just so tightly woven and crisp, but it also still has a lovely drape. It's blue and white stripe, just a mid-tone blue. And have you been seeing everywhere lately oversized shirts? They look so chic on other people. I don't know if I can pull it off, but I'm gonna give it a go. I think I need like a white tank top to wear underneath it, and then this with a relaxed pair of jeans. This is gonna be something for next summer now. I don't think I will get to it at this time of year, but I just loved the colour on that one. This fabric is one of the Italian rayons I was telling you about, and I just love that print. That is so me. The background is a very dark navy with some black kind of shadows of foliage. I'm going to hide behind it so that hopefully the camera picks it up. But this has all my favourite colours in it. We know I love a floral. It's so soft, but it's like hefty as well. It has a lovely, lovely weight to it. I have no idea what I'm going to make from this. I got 2 meters, so I've got a few options, but yeah, love it. It's so me. The next one I chose was a rayon, and this was definitely on the cheaper end of their offerings, and it's this cute black and white heart print. I love monochrome things. I am a winter colour palette, so black and white are definitely my colours, and I love like a ditzy print, kind of like this one, but I like it to be irregular. I don't like when you can see a clear pattern repeat, and it stresses me out when I'm cutting things out. You know, if you have a polka dot where they're arranged in like diagonal stripes, it kind of visually it does a little bit give me a headache, but also I don't like when I look at a pattern and I can see the repeat. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it is probably just a me thing, but I also think if any of you feel the same, you will know exactly what I mean. I find it distracting and hard for cutting out, deciding where to place plackets and pockets and things. So I prefer small scale abstract. Obviously there is a pattern repeat, I just don't like it when I can immediately pick it out. So I love that, and I think for this, a little short kind of flirty dress to wear with leggings. Haven't decided on an exact pattern, but you know I have quite a few like that. The next one I chose is a slight departure for me. It's a polyester satin, a really large scale print, but not all polyesters are created equal, are they? And this really feels like such beautiful quality. The drape is amazing. I did get a piece with a join, and the guy who was cutting my fabric, whose name I didn't catch actually, was so good about this. He was like, do you want me to unroll it and cut you one whole 2 meter length? And I was like, no, because you know I'll be cutting sleeves, so a join is fine. And he did throw in a little bit extra so that I wouldn't have any trouble with cutting out, which I thought was really nice. So yeah, it's a heavy weight. I don't know, I think it's just a satin, but I'm going to show you the back because the weave to me is a little bit unusual. I'm sure some of you will know better than me. The colour is a French navy, which is one of my colours, but this pale pink is not. And I love pink. I love pink in all its forms, but I find it quite hard to wear pink unless it's hot pink. And I love hot pink, but also sometimes it's very bright and I do feel a bit like I stand out. So I think that's a great way for me to wear pink and still have it flatter my skin tone. And I don't know with this one, as I say, I got 2 meters, but I got a little bit extra because of the join. I do think my favorite, let me scoot over so I've got room to put some pattern pictures. I do think my favourite Vogue wrap dress would be stunning in that. I also thought a wrap top from the same pattern, but with massive billowy sleeves. I just think that would be amazing. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for this fabric, do let me know. It has a nice weight and body, but it is very flowy. Yeah, I absolutely love that. Definitely a slight departure for me, but so pleased I did go for it in the end. And last, but definitely not least, the Italian silk that I bought. Tessuti Premium, made in Italy, Zeta. Here it is, and I just love it. It's a muted teal background, I would say, with brown flowers on, and brown is in my colour palette, as is teal, but I don't generally love brown, she says, wearing a kind of beigey brown top. But generally I don't like just plain chocolate brown on me, but I thought this was just absolutely delightful and such a fun way to bring some brown into my wardrobe, because I know it is very much trending at the moment. I bought a metre of this because it was £45 a metre, and I think I just need to make a gorgeous blouse or top from this. I don't have a lot of woven top patterns that I really like, so any suggestions you have would be gratefully received. I think for me this is an autumn winter kind of fabric, so I would be looking for something probably with long sleeves, and I think I've got enough. It's a decent width. Oh, isn't it gorgeous? So that's everything I bought at the Stitch Fabrics pop-up. Oh, honestly, if you ever get the chance to go, I will link their events page below, because I had a quick look and they have events coming up in Gloucestershire, Cheshire, Cambridgeshire, and I think some in and around the home counties. And it's just such a wonderful format for fabric shopping. They load everything up in a van, they spend some time setting it up, and then you've just got this huge space where you can browse to your heart's content. I have seen stitch fabrics before at the Knitting and Stitching show where the booths are obviously so expensive. They have a decent size stand, but all of the fabrics are stacked up quite high because obviously they want to bring a lot of stock and a lot of choice, but they don't have the space to spread it out. But in this setting where they've hired a whole village hall, which for an hourly rate is probably very reasonable, they had tables all the way around the hall. And so the fabrics were only 1 or 2 rolls deep. You could see everything. There was plenty of space to linger. I spent nearly an hour there. That was such a fun little trip out, and I got some really gorgeous fabrics. That's it from me today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.